Hello, you beautiful souls, and welcome back to the podcast Healing from Heartbreak. And in this episode, I really want to dive deep into how you truly begin the journey of healing from the heartbreak that you've endured. And I really want to go deep into this because you've probably come across this episode just at the right time, where you are going through heartbreak and you don't have a clue what to do. You don't know where to start. Your emotions are all over the place and you just wish things could go back to normal, but you know deep down in your heart that it can't. And you're having this battle between your head and your heart because it's like you think that your heart wants to go back to that place. But in actual fact, it's your mind that wants to go back to what it knows. And it's your heart that's saying, come on, there's something more out there. You deserve better. The mind itself is a really, really controlling thing. And it only wants you to go back to the old place because that's familiar and that's safe. The unknown that you're about to step into, it's not safe for your mind to comprehend. That's why you can feel so anxious in times like this, because your mind is literally going out of control. And that's why you feel that you're out of control of what's going on, because there's another force that's taking hold of everything. Why? Because your heart knows deep down you deserve so much more than what you've just left. And that is coming from personal experience, from someone who has come out the other side of a number of different heartbreaks. And I think this is something that's also really, really important, is all this emotion that is coming up during this heartbreak. It's not just for the heartbreak that you're going through right now. It's through every single heartbreak that you've received in your life that you've not dealt with. This is why it feels so much. Like, I remember when I took the decision to leave my ex-partner, and so much emotion came up that I couldn't deal with it. And I avoided it nearly for how long? Over a year. I avoided feeling the heartbreak because I knew that when I really opened it, it was going to be like opening the floodgates. It was all going to come. And during COVID 2020, that was when the floodgates opened because I couldn't avoid not feeling it anymore. And not only did I feel the heartbreak of that separation, I felt the heartbreak of when my mum and dad separated and how that version of me felt at that time that I didn't feel. I felt that as well. I felt the heartbreak of no longer having a family unit anymore and no longer having a place that I felt like home, because my own family home wasn't home anymore for me due to my mum and dad's separation. Then, when I actually went deeper into this and deeper into my healing journey, I realized that there was so much heartbreak that I went through as a child that I hadn't processed either. So this wasn't actually my first heartbreak. There was so much more that was underneath the surface, and that's what made it feel so much more than what it was. And if you're experiencing this, I want you to know that it's normal. Because there comes a time in your journey where your soul can't handle any more pain, and it needs to transmute it. It needs to change it. It needs to evolve that energy into something more powerful. And this is where the saying comes from: transform your pain into your power. There is too much pain inside of you that needs to come out now. And this is why this heartbreak is different. It's hit different. Why? Because your soul itself now, it needs to awaken. This, like, they say so much that when you're a deeper soul, that heartbreak isn't just heartbreak, it's soul destroying. And there's a reason for that, because your soul itself is so bogged down with so much pain that it needs to break free from it all. It needs to awaken. And you can truly make this heartbreak. You can allow it to make you, not break you, if you truly learn the lessons from it. And that's basically what I've done in my journey, hence why I am the woman that I am today, because I allowed my breakup to make me, not break me. And I used every single part of that heartbreak, and I really looked at every single lesson, and I allowed every single heartbreak that I'd been through to be felt and to truly allow it to come out. Instead of judging myself that I'm weak and that I'm sensitive and that I'm fragile, I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to cry, because there's a little girl inside of me that didn't cry, and she needs to cry. She needs to have space to cry. She needs to have space to feel her emotions and to actually be comforted and to say that, you know what, it's okay. And this is the gift that I want to give you today, is that I don't want you to keep judging yourself through this heartbreak that you're feeling. Even if it happened years ago, it doesn't matter. There's a version of you that needs to be seen for the pain that you're going through right now. And the only person that can do that is you. And this is where the journey of self-love really opens up. And this is how you can truly start to make something of yourself through the heartbreak that you're feeling right now. I always like to look at it that the heart itself, what does the heart need? The heart needs love. And when we go through a heartbreaking situation and we separate from someone, the reason why so many women struggle with heartbreak is because they don't know where the next source of love is going to come in. And the heart itself is like, oh my God, I need love, I need love, I need love. Actually, the heart doesn't say that. The mind says that. I need love, I need love. Where am I going to get love from? Hence why so many women, instead of dealing with the heartbreak, they'll jump into another relationship, because that source of love is not there. But how about if we change that? Instead of sourcing the love from someone else, which is what has been taught to us through our life, instead of putting the plug to get the source, like you do with electric, you put the plug into the socket, don't you? In the external world. Instead of doing that, can we not just put that plug back into our own hearts again? Instead of looking for an external plug, aka a man, can we not put that plug back into ourselves? And this is the first step to healing your own heart, is by plugging your source of love back into yourself. Every single thing that you do in the name of love for someone else, do it for yourself. You might be sat there thinking, how can I give all this love to myself? Like, I don't know how. And that's perfectly okay, because most of us weren't taught how to do that. We weren't in situations growing up where we saw what a healthy love looked like. We just saw what we saw as kids and assumed that that was love. Now you're at the place that you're actually questioning, what is love? What is a relationship? Like, what is everything all about? And you can redefine that by creating a love towards yourself, which is actually what you truly desire. Because love is not painful. Love is not hard. Love is not a struggle. That's just what your relationship showed you. which is actually mirroring back how you were taught love to be when you were growing up. So why can't we redefine this? Why can't we actually ask ourselves, like, what is love? What is love? And how can I give that back to myself? And I want to share my view on love on this, like what I've learned in my journey and how this has really helped me heal my own heart. And to me, the first thing that love is to me, love is safe. And I never knew what safety was until I made myself feel what safety felt like. And it meant me being myself. If I can't feel safe with myself, who else can I feel safe with? I started to feel safe with my emotions. So when emotions would come up, instead of saying to myself, like, oh, come on, you're stronger than this. That's not safe. That's actually, to me, pushing it under the rug. Whereas safety is actually saying, do you know what? I don't have to be strong today. And me being emotional is normal. Me saying that this is normal is making me feel safe with the emotions that are coming up. That little bit of self-talk right there is what creates safety to me. And this is what a really good first step for you can be in this journey of converting and opening your self-love journey. Instead of seeking love from outside, converting it to internal sources of love, is by providing yourself safety to feel everything that you're feeling. Like, it's okay. It's okay to feel the feelings. And if anything, this is actually going to be the first step in your journey to recreate yourself and to piece all the puzzle pieces back together. And the next step in this journey is where you open up to loving yourself. So when this part of you wants to come up and wants to be emotional, instead of shaming that part of you, because you've probably heard that you being emotional is weak, or like you could have heard sayings like, why are you crying again for? Like, what's wrong with you? When we go through situations like that as children and in relationships, we start to shame ourselves because we judge that part of ourselves. Why? Because it was never accepted by people outside of us. And this is where we open the portal of self-love by saying to ourselves, do you know what? I'm not going to judge you anymore, because it's human nature to cry. It's normal to cry. And does that mean I'm weak? Does that mean that there's something wrong with me? No, there doesn't. And if I'm crying because of something. And that's okay. I am allowed to feel. And if you actually give yourself permission and say, I'm allowed to do this because there's no one here to judge me to do this. Do you know how much love you're pouring into yourself by just doing that small thing? That small internal thing that you're doing can actually transform everything. Do you know how many times I've said that in client sessions and literally the door opens and the emotions just flood out? Because we don't actually realize that in this moment of heartbreak, all we need is to feel safe and to be seen and loved for a part of us that was never loved in the past. Most of the people that I deal with and most of the women that I deal with in my sessions have been with people who are emotionally unavailable. When you're with someone that's emotionally unavailable, you are not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to feel any single emotion to any extremity, because it's not accepted by them. But when you're with someone who's emotionally available, like myself, I allow the emotion to come in, to have a place, because I know that in the sadness that's being felt, there's a lesson there. And normally when my clients are crying, they're crying over a situation, they're sad about a certain situation. What are they sad about? They're sad about how they were treated in their relationship, as example. So that right there is indicating to me, so what boundaries do you need in your relationships moving forward? What do you actually need in your relationships moving forward? And what do you need from a man in a relationship? And are you making sure that your needs are met before you step into relationships? And then their little eyes go, now I understand. Every single emotion, when you allow it in, has a message behind it. But first of all, we need to allow them to come in. And how are we going to do that? Is by doing these 2 small steps. Opening up and allowing emotions to come in. Instead of running around looking to escape them again and again and again, just allow them to come in. Sit in a place that you feel safe, where you're alone. If it means that you put romantic songs on or sad songs just to cry, do it. Because they need to come out. All these emotions need to come out. This pain needs to come out. And I'm telling you that once it all comes out, there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. It will stop. But the reason why it takes so long for it to come out is because you don't know how many times that your heart has actually been broken and you've avoided to feel it. And the reason why it's so big is because you are feeling the heartbreak of your whole lifetime. Let's just put that in a perspective at the moment. Every single time that your dad ignored you, that broke your heart as a child. Did you actually cry, or did your mum just witness it and take you away and let you go and play with your toys so you didn't have time to cry? That needs to come out. That energy is being stored in your body. That needs to come out. And the only way it's going to come out is when you allow it. Allow this energy to come out, because it's being stored in your body. And that's most of the reason why women have certain sicknesses and autoimmune diseases, because there's so much emotion that's being kept in the body that hasn't been felt. Why? Because there was no safe place to feel it. As I said to you at the beginning, you are listening to this podcast for a reason. You are right now at the point of a total rebirth and reinvention of yourself at this present moment. And it's up to you to take one of 2 options. To go back to the life that you've always lived because it's familiar and it's safe. And to go through repeated patterns of heartbreak time and time and time again with emotionally unavailable men. Or option number 2 is, for the first time in your life, actually feel your feelings. And allow this heartbreak to truly take you to the place of transformation and recreation of who you truly are. Because this is what heartbreak does. It literally destroys you. It destroys the person that you was trying to be, and allows you to be the person that you was put on this earth to be. This is the difference. We've been taught that we have to act a certain way in order to be loved, without realizing that who we truly are is worthy of love without doing anything. And this is what this journey of truly healing from heartbreak gets you. It gets you to be you and loved for who you truly are. No matter how emotional you are, how sensitive you are, how naive or innocent you are, all of these aspects of you can be truly loved and allowed to come out to play without you trying to be someone that you're not. And this is why this relationship didn't work, because this version of you can no longer move forward. This version of you can no longer get you to the place that you want to be, the dream relationship that you want to be, the dream life that you want. He is not going to get you there. The truest version of you is going to get you there. And the people that need to be alongside you on that journey will then find you along your journey of you finding yourself. But you can only find yourself when you start to truly love yourself and love every single part of you. And the only way you're going to love every single part of you is actually by seeing and making every single part of you feel safe. This is why the portal and the journey of self-love is so, so, so important on the journey of healing your heart from the heartbreak that you've gone through during your life. Not just this one, but every single heartbreak that you've been through. Because in every single heartbreak, there is a piece of you that's waiting for you to call it back, to heal it. And then when you heal it, when you call it back and you heal it, that then is another piece of rebuilding to build you up to the person that you were supposed to be, not the person that you were made to be. This is the point. And you will know this because when you look in the mirror, you will not recognize yourself. And I have done this multiple times in my journey. I look at myself and I'm like, who the hell are you? And the reason why you're doing that is because your mind is telling you who to be in those moments, instead of you actually truly being who you were put on this earth to be. So this is the journey. These are the two things that you need to do right now. Number one, make yourself feel safe with the feelings that you're experiencing. And number two, giving yourself the love that you give to everyone else, give it to yourself. You need this so much right now. You are literally like a little baby that needs to be nurtured so much. And it's in this nurturing that you can then grow into the gorgeous flower that you were put here to be. And that flower needs watering along its journey. And this is what you need to do for yourself. Continue watering you now. Go through the uncomfortableness to get to where you want to be. Like I say, this heartbreak can make you if you allow it. And if you want any type of support on this journey, if you want to feel safe, held and seen, this is where my coaching comes in. This is where I support my clients. And this is where I allow my clients to really grow into gorgeous flowers and bloom into the version of themselves that they were put on this earth to be. And I am the watering can that waters them every single week. And the women that have come out at the end of my containers are absolutely incredible. They always have been incredible. But when they knew how incredible they were, that was it. It was insane. I am the woman who transforms pain into power on a daily. So if you want any support, please reach out. And I can let you know the options that are available. And I'm going to leave it there. So if you are in the dark of heartbreak, just know that you're going to be okay. I've been there, I've done it. And how many years now? 6 years on, it really was the making of me. And I am so happy that my heartbreak happened as it did. And you will one day too, I promise. Anyway, keep smiling, keep shining, my beautiful souls, and I will catch you, as always, on the next episode.